Hey guys, did you hear the talk with Gary Vaynerchuk and the TikTok boss? That's what I want to talk about today. Hey guys, Oscar here for Notagrouch, Notagrouch.com. And don't be mistaken, let me turn this off. Don't be mistaken, I'm not leaving Facebook, I'm not leaving YouTube, I'm not leaving anywhere just because of this new thing that's happening. And arguably it's not new, but the talk you should watch. And there's some key points about it and why I think it's important that you pay attention. You know, Gary's been saying this for 10 years now, I think. Same thing, just different platform. And for somebody like you or me that are trying to run a business and trying to do stuff, maybe you feel a little frustrated because he says, hey, go on Twitter, and here you go on Twitter, get on. You don't really know what you're doing, you can't really figure it out. You see all these people having success while you're trying, and they seem to just, the success comes to them naturally. It just happens. And then here you're hustling, you're like thinking about your tweet, crafting it, spell checking it, grammar checking it, all the good stuff. And you get no responses. And then somebody else comes in with a poorly written tweet, makes no sense, sounds like a 12-year-old wrote it, and they get 100,000 likes and retweets and attention. They get on Good Morning America. And you're like, what is going on? I get it. It's frustrating. But he has a point. He did the same thing with Instagram. He did the same thing with Vidler when he was on Vidler. He did the same thing with Facebook, Snapchat. And now, what is it? TikTok.
There's always this time when these platforms are so big that there is so big with attention that there's not enough content to fill it to ultimately not create a scenario where you can get an incredible amount of awareness and reach when you have no audience.
TikTok, right? TikTok is the talk of the world. But like I said, TikTok is not new. It's just a new name. TikTok was called Musical.ly before. And I was on it. I never really did anything with it because I just wanted to know what it is that people do on it. And basically it started off as a lip syncing app. You play a little song in the background and you lip sync to it, post it, it'll be funny. But it's grown quite a bit, and there's a good little thing you can maybe, make a conclusion of whatever you want. When Gary asked him, well, how many users you have? You have more than one, right? Thinking like one, and he leaves it at that. It implies more than 1 million, and the guy wants to answer, but he won't because those numbers are not public yet. He hasn't told anybody yet, but he says, oh, we're less than 1 billion and more than 500, more than 500 million.
But when's the last time TikTok announced how many users are on the platform or how many users are on the platform?
We really don't announce it. We talk to brands about it. We're pretty clear with brands. We don't do it publicly.
Okay. That's why I hedged. I have no idea.
One policy reason or another,
but it's more than
within brands,
one, right?
We're pretty transparent in those numbers. Uh-huh. It's not 1 billion, but it's not half of that either.
I understand. I think the thing that's been most interesting to me over the last 2 months, and I don't think I've seen this in a long, long time, where the nature of TikTok's algorithm and just how much consumption is happening there, and I've been talking about it quite a bit over the last 100 days, I've been bombarded with emails and DMs from people who've desperately been trying to create on YouTube and Instagram for the last 3 years, 8 hours a day, and within 6 days, 19 days, have built such bigger audiences and engagement, not just numbers of followers on TikTok. And that's reminiscent to the people I saw on Twitter in that first 2006 to 2008 world. You were able to get so many more followers because the nature was everybody followed everybody because it was such a small community, and you were able to get a lot of awareness. And before we do anything else, I think we all chase awareness. The industry has been overpricing potential reach with GRPs and impressions and programmatic. And here's a platform, though I still believe skews to a certain demo that may not match everybody, potentially has its way to match everybody, but has, in essence, free awareness that is very difficult to achieve in other places. And I think that in itself is important.
Yeah.
Think about that. 500 million people on TikTok. And yes, I get it. A lot of these are young people doing goofy stuff, being silly, mostly paying attention to their friends and just having fun. So how is this going to impact your business? Well, eyeballs, eyeballs. And that's the part that really got me in the talk. It finally clicked on me. I mean, I've known it inside, and I think you know it too. It's just hard to focus on something where you know it's going to eventually go away. And so, my battery's about to die, so I may have to switch video in a minute. Luckily, I brought an extra battery, but I don't know how long it lasts. In any case, see, that's one thing. For example, the young people don't really care right now. Battery, what do you mean battery? For what, a camera? What, you have a camera? What are you making videos with, a camera? Just use your phone. Oh, you're editing your videos on Final Cut Pro? Why? TikTok has it all built in. It has filters, it has splits, it has effects, it has sound effects, it has everything built in right there on the app. Takes you 10 minutes to shoot your video, takes you 10 minutes to edit, post it, you get 100,000 likes, views, whatever. Now, of course, you won't, I won't, but they are. If you are playing for the long term in your business, then you have to follow where the crowd is. Even if you still want to put your message out, even if you still want to be yourself, even if you still want to do what you want to do, you still have to know where you are. You still have to know what people are looking at so that you can integrate some of that into your stuff. Due in part to Gary's talk and a few other big pundits, TikTok is taking off with grown-ups now. And there's a point of contention there with the younger people and the older people where they call us old people or boomers, even though we are millennials. I am, I guess, as Elijah Schlesinger says, I'm an elder millennial. So I'm on the very edge, borderline, depends on whose definition of millennial you follow. And the reality is that we invented social media, our generation, not them. So yeah, I get it. They're the ones that go and use it, and they're the ones with the most success. I mean, I spent literally about 2.5 hours last night looking through the feed, liking stuff, finding people to follow and stuff, just so I can understand better what the capabilities are. They didn't make the system. They just go and join it. And part of it is in rebellion because that's not where their parents are. And we're going to see what happens now that we're joining. There's a bunch of people posting stuff that says something like, grown-up takeover or grown-up TikTok or something like that, in response to them calling us boomers, which is hilarious because they just don't even know. And you know, I mean, I remember being 17, I remember being 16. I thought I knew it all. I thought I was amazing. I thought I ruled the world. And kids feel that way because they feel invincible. They've been living in this shell for 15 or 16 years and they're taking on the world, but not really. So they peek their head out of their safe space and think everybody else is wrong because all they know is what they've seen. And eventually they'll come around and learn and eventually become one of us, which I sound like an old man saying this, but it is what it is. In any case, I did find a lot of people that are having pretty good results with business. So don't discount TikTok as a business platform or as a place just to reach your customers. Think about this. We knock on this younger generation, on these kids that are having success, like the Jake Pauls, what's the other Paul, whatever. Even smaller creators, they still get a couple million followers. They still have 2.5 million followers. Imagine the realtor. Imagine you're a realtor in a luxury market, Beverly Hills, LA, another affluent city, anywhere in the country. Imagine that. Guess what? This 17, 18-year-olds that are getting $100,000 deals for posting on Instagram, for posting on TikTok, for making a video, they're making more than most boomers. At some point, when they turn 21, 22, guess what? They're gonna buy a house. So you're a realtor. Guess who they're gonna go after? Somebody that they followed or they talked to, or somebody that talks to them where they are? Or do you think they're gonna go and pick up a flyer from the parents' house and say, oh, what are the properties listed in this zip code today? And they're gonna see 18 properties sold last year by agent average. Do you think they're gonna call him? No. They're gonna be like, hey, you get it. You are on TikTok, I saw that. That video with your kid was hilarious and you're always commenting on my stuff or whatever. And then eventually, guess what? That's a connection for you. And that applies to every business. This is what people don't get. And I've always been critical of people that dismiss the young generation because they're young and stupid or young and silly or young and whatever expletive you want to put in there. The reality is that they're only 4 to 5 years away from having their own spending power. And then we knock on them because they get 500,000 followers or 1 million followers, and we say, oh, they just did that because they jump off a building and almost broke their leg. Or, oh, this girl does it because she shows her cleavage. But guess what? They're learning how to manipulate the world just like you and I learned earlier on. And their opportunities are different and their platforms are different. So you can't dismiss them because they're coming of age. They're coming around, and eventually they will have spending power. And guess who they're not going to hire? They're not going to hire us old people that don't get it. They're not going to hire us old people that said, hey, here's my card, send me an email, call my office, make an appointment with my assistant. No, they're going to text you. They're going to TikTok you and say, hey, I want to check out the house that you just posted. When can we see it? That's it. That's how it's going to work. And yes, it's early. Yes, like Gary said, maybe TikTok is going to flash and go away. Maybe it's not going to be here tomorrow, in a month, or maybe it will go the way of Snapchat. I mean, who uses Snapchat anymore? I mean, people do still, but only for messaging. It's become a cesspool of propaganda and advertisements. TikTok is taking over. And what matters is that you are there listening, paying attention to the culture shift, paying attention to your base. Keep doing what you're doing with your normal clients. So if your flyers going to the doors are working, if you're calling people that you think may want to buy a house this month but have told you no for the past 18 months, if that's working, go for it. But start integrating this new stuff. I told you about video the other day. That's just basic. I mean, you do have to have some substance that is long lasting, that is more searchable. As far as I understand right now, and I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about, you can't search TikTok. TikTok is not available to Google, Yahoo, Bing, whatever. It's just not. You have to be on there. And on top of that, TikTok is not passive. TikTok is active. You are on it, and you're on it dedicated. You are watching, you are looking at stuff. It's not like YouTube. I mean, I can put YouTube on and do other stuff and listen to the background. I pay for premium, so I don't get ads anyway. But I put it on a lot more like TV. Like TV used to be where you're, like if you're cleaning the house, you put TV on, it's on the background. You catch up on the news as you're making dinner. I watch YouTube a little bit like that. TikTok, you can't do that. First, it's annoying as all hell because if you watch one TikTok and you put your phone down, that TikTok is going to loop until the end of time, until your battery runs out. So you're not going to do that. Second, so you have to scroll through it. And then, on top of that, the feed is infinite. So when you go to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, it never ends. It only stops when you stop. And this is to their brilliance, because other apps have done this to a degree, but pay attention on Instagram. If you start scrolling, and you scroll, in about 20, 30 seconds or a minute, you're going to start seeing the same post. Why? Because Instagram's stupid algorithm. For TikTok, it's not like that. You just keep seeing new stuff all the time, and it works out great. To their credit, I was going to say, they have some tools there to minimize your time on the app so that you don't actually waste your life away, which is really good. They're trying to strike a good balance between being viral and being, sticky, but also respecting your life and, at least putting an effort into saying, hey, you shouldn't be on this for 4 hours a day. Go out and do stuff. But anyway, that's it. I would love to hear your thoughts about it. Are you on it? I'm on it. I got on it. I have 2 videos posted, 0 views, as I said earlier. But at least I'm paying attention. I'm learning so that I can either help you or talk about it as I'm doing now, because this is my business. And I highly encourage you to go check it out. If you're in the service industry, if you're in the food business, beauty, real estate, any visual business, you should be on it. You should be trying it out. Takes trial and error. You will look ridiculous. You will be cringy, but that's part of it. It takes time to get the hang of it. And have a good one. I'll talk to you next time.
Bye-bye.
Hey, and if you made it all the way to the end of the video, which you did, click on one of those videos right here. One of them is the latest video I posted besides this one, and one is the one that YouTube recommends for you. And there should be a picture of my face where you can actually subscribe to the channel so you get notified. See you later.